So I took what I thought was going to be a small amount of psilocybin, and it ended up being a large amount of psilocybin. And my situation turned into a trip, a healing journey, an awakening journey very rapidly. There was a lot that came clearly to me in just stunning, stunning clarity. I recorded a lot of it via voice memo as I was just moving through it. It's a lot of me laughing maniacally and saying different things here and there. But I wanted to make this for you fresh off of that to offer you what occurred to me while it's still fresh. And the title of this video, I'm pretty sure, will be Success as Identity, or something like Success as Identity Structure. Would you please look at the title and tell me what I came up with? Thank you. Put it in the comments. That'd be great. Just kidding. Don't do that. So here's a good place to start. Going into it, starting last night, I came across a speaker on TikTok who I love. Her name is Yeshwani, and I will link the specific video for that below that you can watch. And she opens with the phrase that reality is permission-based. And she speaks about whether or not you permit things to be. And she uses it in two specific, even sort of contradictory ways. So in one sense, she refers to permission as like if there's something in the world that is bugging you and it's offending you and it keeps persecuting you and persisting and it just keeps coming around. It's like an annoying person or an annoying internal habit or anything. If you are in a place of not giving it permission, then give it permission. Permit it to be there. Acknowledge its reality, acknowledge its degree of truth, and then it can finally run its course. And we speak about that a lot in our discussions here. But then there's also a sort of an opposite form of permission where it's like, are you giving yourself permission to manifest yourself? Is there permission for you to become what you are becoming? Yes or no? And so that thing that you're not giving permission to, that requires permission as well. And so in both cases, there's this healing and kind of corrective element that comes with the giving of permission. And I will say also, because this is going to be relevant for our conversation, she is a woman who speaks about reality in the form of loops and in the form of fractals. So language that she doesn't use, for example, she doesn't say you have to try harder or think smarter or use a better strategy. When she speaks on a sort of causal realm where she will say, like, if there's some sort of obstacle or blockage or problem that you're constantly contending with, in what way are you permitting this? Like, in what way are you creating this? And her language will insist that that you have some sort of authorship or creatorship in it, which of course I think is true and I admire, although of course it comes with a lot of really difficult problems as well. For example, does that mean we're creating all of our suffering, and what does that mean if so, and so on and so forth. And we don't want to go there just yet. I've explored that in other videos too. What I want to talk about though is I want to talk about identity structure. Identity structure, you and me, identity structure. So here's how it works. It works like this. I'm just lining it all up. Here we go. How do you see yourself in the world? Who are you in the world? Just take a minute and get a sense of it. How do you see yourself in the world? And how do you feel you are perceived in the world? Are you seen as this or that? Are you seen as above or below, good or bad, nice or mean, ugly or beautiful, successful or failure? Are you seen as spiritual, smart, intellectual, hardworking, grounded and earthy? Are you seen middle of the way? So just like, you don't have to ask anybody, just take a minute to consider how you think people see you, and see the degree to which that is a match with how you see yourself. And what you'll kind of end up with there is your identity structure. This is who you are in the world, right? It makes sense, right? This is sort of incredibly, incredibly basic, very basic, obvious kind of stuff. What is your identity structure? So, okay, to the extent that you like it, it's permitted to stay. Great, fine. You know, there's no need to touch it. If you have a good thing that's working for you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But okay, what is broke? Is there anything about your identity structure that is not serving you, that you don't like, that is causing friction for you, that is causing problems for you? And if so, what is that? And you may find that if you take a moment to consider what that is, it'll cause you sort of pain to look at it, because it's a painful form of your identity structure. So here's mine. I'm going to share a thing with you. I always overshare. I apologize. I always overshare, but I do this because I feel like I need to give you a living example, and I know that my story is just a story. So here we go. I think this should be fine. But what I hold in my identity is non-success. That's what I hold in my identity. Now, it's not the same as failure. I figured this out. I figured this out today. So failure would actually be kind of dope. I kind of like failure. Failure is exciting. Failure means something has come to an end. You can kind of close the loop, go on to something else, continue on your journey. You can leave something behind, and then when it comes to failure. And so I don't carry failure in my identity, but I carry non-success in my identity. And non-success is a little bit more pernicious, I might say, where it's like as long as that aspect of my identity is there, the roots of success are not allowed to germinate. I can't plant seeds in the soil. The seeds of success just can't grow there. And so then as a result, there's this kind of frustrated movement. I never experience a total failure. I never do. But there is a certain success that I allude to in a lot of these videos. If you've seen any of my other ones, if you're new here, hello, hi, I'm Brent, but like there's a certain amount of success that I have not been able to find just yet. And what I notice is that I often get messages from people saying like, hey, like Brent, why aren't you more successful than you are? Like it's almost like a lot of people can psychically pick up on that. And the answer, it takes the form of kind of a throbbing answer, which is I don't permit it. I do not permit success to germinate. And so the trip that I was on, the deep dive that I was on was looking at this and figuring out how to change it. And so I'm going to share with you the change that I made, because I did indeed make a change today, a very substantial ground level one. And I'm also going to take you through a process where you can do this with yourself. So there's 4 steps that I've identified. We're going to go through them, and I'll tell you how I took myself through them. And I hope this is interesting for you. I hope this does something for you. And of course, if it does, it would be super cool if you left a comment to let me know. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to ask if your identity structure can be changed or not. Is it baked in or not? We have to know. Because generally, culturally, this is not like a very, strongly held thing. It's like a 75-25 kind of thing across the Gestalt collective unconscious. Generally, there's a feeling that you can't change it. You can't. Especially if you're old and you've been at it for a long time. And I'm going to qualify old as 35 and above, because I'm 38 and I feel like I'm an old guy now. Like I'm entering into the oldness of my life, right? So for those of us who are in the oldness of life, there is a sense of like having hit your head against something for a long time. And you can really only hit your head against something so many times before you start to wonder if you're hitting your head against a wall that is immovable. Is it immovable? There was a riddle that I came across once. I had a box of riddles, and they were all like super fun. I love riddles. Everybody loves riddles. And there was one that I came across that read as such. It said, "A unstoppable force is moving towards an immovable object. What happens?" This is the riddle. What happens? Take a minute, see if you can guess the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I flipped over the card and I looked at the answer, and the answer said something along the lines of, the question is absurd. The question is absurd. It's like stating that there are 2 men each one taller than the other? I hated that answer. Do you hate that answer? Good. You are correct to hate that answer. I hated it. And I put the box away. I stopped reading the riddles. And then it wasn't until at least 2 good decades later that the lesson behind that riddle finally blossomed in me in a way that I'm sharing with you now, where there's no such thing as an unstoppable force moving against an immovable object, right? You like imagine like a train that just like cannot be stopped no matter what. And we put on the train tracks a rock that no matter what can't be moved. What happens? Well, it's like you can't formulate that, right? It's almost tantamount to saying what happens when you enter a situation where something must happen. You know what I mean? Like it's just simply because English language allows the formulation of this question doesn't mean that a true answer can come. In a way, this is a false question. We talk a lot about false questions here on this channel. This is a false question. And it applies here. So we're looking at your identity structure. And so we begin to wonder if the identity structure is the immovable object. When we're young, we think we are the unstoppable force. Isn't this so? I mean, you know, if you're given a decent sense of self-esteem and opportunity as a youngster, which some of us were privileged to have and some of us were not, you know, ideally you come out of youth feeling like an unstoppable force. That's how I felt. And then I crashed into a lot of objects. And then I started to wonder if I am indeed an unstoppable force. Maybe I am indeed a stoppable force. Maybe there are indeed immovable objects. So you could say something like, I don't know, the speed of light, not being able to move faster than the speed of light. That's an immovable object. I have no idea. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, right? But when it comes to an aspect of your personality, come on, give me a break, right? If it's your own personality, then yes, there are aspects that can be shifted. Who's the boss of your personality? Who's the boss of your identity structure? Are you stuck with your identity structure? Give me a break. No, no. Now, okay, so that's one. One is the acknowledgement and the asking of whether or not it's possible and the deciding that it's possible. And then number 2 is, okay, asking, okay, what is required? What is required to make it possible? Can I do it now? Can I make this shift now? So in my own story, as I'm tripping out on psilocybin, it becomes clear to me that I hold non-success in my identity structure. Okay, can I shift that to an identity structure of success? That's my question. This is stage 2. Is it possible? Good question. Can it be done right now? If not, why not? Like, is there anything in the way? This is what I want to know. And what I found was, of course, and you need to be very, very careful about this if you're following me on this conversation, is that the reasons why you may not be able to shift your identity structure will come up, and they will be very convincing, number 1. And number 2, they will want to distract you. So they will want to kind of like overtake your determination to move on to step 3, which is a more active step, and it'll want to just get held down here. It wants to overcomplicate, it wants to ask questions, it wants to throw in doubt, it wants to say that you're wrong, it wants to distract, it wants to say that what we're doing is dangerous, and so you need to be aware of that. Now, to be fair, you deserve to rest assured that it's safe to move in this direction. And in fact, it may not even be possible to move completely in this direction unless you are convinced that this is the correct direction to move in. Because it doesn't matter that you and I are brought here because you are tired of your identity structure. The fact that there are aspects of your identity, you see yourself as poor or bad or mean or unsuccessful, or nobody likes you, or you're unpopular, or you're socially inept, right? Like you believe that one or all of these qualities is what you are, and The fact that you're grappling with this drives you to this conversation. It drives, because I'm a coach, and so it drives clients to meet me, and we meet, right? So, and they paid me money, and we're here to work it out, right? So we're in the arena, and yet once we arrive at step 2, then there's an about face, and now we're arguing, now we're bickering. And now the thing that is about to change goes, hold on, not so fast, not so fast, you can't change. No, it's not safe. So what we want to do is we want to go in with a sort of deference, where on one hand, yes, like you deserve to feel safe, and we will make you feel safe, and we will talk about why it's safe. And I got a killer thing for you in just a minute. But at the same time, make sure that you know that this part is also attempting to distract you. That it's what it's trying to do. That it doesn't want to do what you paid me to do. It doesn't want to do what you're watching this to do. You're not watching this video for fun. You're watching this video because you want to change, right? So be aware of the thing that is trying to prevent you from getting what you're after. Okay, so here's that killer thing that I mentioned. Here, this blew my mind. I'm so grateful for this. Sparkling clarity. Whatever there is in your personality structure that would ask that you don't change, or would tell you that you can't change, or that you can't, won't, shouldn't, shall not, must not, any sort of piece of psychology that prevents it from happening. It is real in as much as it is there. And it is true, whatever that is, it is true, whatever that is, in that it exists in the first place as a thing. So it's true and it's real in as much as it's there. But the message that it contains is false. How do we know this? Because if there's any psychology that would prevent you from becoming socially adept, from finding love, from becoming wealthy, from creating success, from healing yourself, healing your life, healing your marriage, healing your world, becoming more harmonized in some way, becoming a more creative, powerful force in the world. Any psychology that prevents this from happening is not a creative force, and it's not a life-affirming force. Nor is it a destructive force. Because if it were a destructive force, that would be fine too. You know, there's creativity in destruction. There's a destructive element to creativity. There's a creative element to destruction. That's fine too. But this is neither of those things. This is friction. It's stagnation. It's a taxation of your energy. It's conflict. It's a kink in the hose. Think of an actual kink in the hose. And think of the reality of that kink. Like really visualize looking at a hose, if you can, and look at the hose and look at the kink and ask yourself, is the kink something? Is it a thing? Kind of, yeah, right? Because you can identify it, right, in a way, but kind of no, right? It's not something, because as soon as you straighten out the hose, like where did it go? Where is it, right? So it has some reality, but not actual reality. And the message of that contraction is it serves no purpose other than to create conflict, painful, suffering, contracted energy. And so it's real in that, like, we're not here to antagonize it, right? And you and I both know, like, if you antagonize it and get mad at it and try to fight it, then you make it worse. But if you avoid it, don't look at it, pretend it's not there, that doesn't help either, it just stays, right? And so what do? You look at it. You look at it and go, hello, I see you. Hi. What's up? How are you? Right? Just talk to it. Look at it, acknowledge it, look right at it. And then through offering it your witnessing awareness, through offering it your light, it is converted into light. It's converted back into hose, right? It's like the kinkness of it is unkinked, and it dissolves. So, yes, so that is the nature of the way in which it is real. So it's real in as much as it's there, and because it's real, it deserves love. Love it. Love it. Hold space for it. Give it your light. Give it your patience. Invite it to the table, metaphorically. But do not make the mistake of believing its message because its message is false. This we know for the reasons that I provided. There we go. See? So therefore now we can close this up, go back to the main journey that we're on here. Now you can know that anything that stands in your way to prevent you from becoming more successful or greater in a way that clearly would benefit everybody. Like, you know, if you found romance, if you found love, if you found money, clearly would benefit everybody because the fact that you are 20 minutes into this video with me means that on some level you're aligned with the well-being of all. So you're good. You're good. Don't worry about that, right? You can trust that it is safe to move into your growth. You can trust that it's safe to remove any psychology that says otherwise. So that's step 2. Oh, and I wanted to tell you just for fun. I had my own hiccups. One was that I wanted, well, am I going to get into this? Does it matter? No, for another video. Okay. So step 3 is to step into it. Just step into it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Step into it. Be it. Make the leap. Move into the new identity structure. Recognizing that the old one is just, it's not true, it's not false, it's just a puppet that you take off your hand. Put on a new puppet. You owe no allegiance to the old puppet. The old puppet is only as real as in as much as it's on your hand. It stops being real as soon as you take it off your hand. And a deeper aspect of you knows this. Just as a deeper aspect of me knows this. See, what has been causing me just, oh my God, so much stress and so much confusion around this whole thing is that I would always feel funny about speaking to you about like on this level, because there's a part of me that thinks, no, maybe success is created on the level of effort and doing and what with your hands and intelligence, and or maybe even success is a byproduct of like spiritual purity or whatever. And no, man, no, success is a byproduct of your fucking identity. Success is a byproduct of you, of whatever you are, like to the extent that you feel like you are a success or not a success. You become successful as soon as you adopt the identity of a successful person, right? Like, how could it be any other way? If you receive any sort of success, like a windfall of money, but you haven't made that internal reconfiguration, then like the success just can't take root. And so I've had so many moments, maybe you have had too, where like I've been exposed to like teachers. Like I remember I was exposed once to Christian Michelson's coaching training and coaching sales training. And like, and he was a dude who had just opened up his wealth. Like he just embodied wealth and success, like really completely, really deeply. And I bought his product and I immersed myself in his work, and boom, started making money for me. It was cool, right? So you can kind of be blasted by somebody else's energy. Maybe perhaps I'm blasting you right now with this particular energy. You know, you may notice, you may find yourself buzzing with this kind of particular vibration that I'm channeling right now for the next little while after this video, right? Hopefully it's good for you. You know, and then you have to, but then, you know, you have to find your own, you have to, and it begins with this decision, right? So step 2 is kind of clearing the way and making sure that you feel safe and convincing you that this is good and the right thing to do, and there's no negative consequence whatsoever in doing it. And then step 3 is just actually doing it, and know it. And it's so funny because I've posted so much on Reddit, so much like on Reddit, like r/getdisciplined, r/productivity. And one of the biggest criticisms that I get over years and years is people saying, oh, this sounds like, oh, thanks, I'm cured. You know, oh, wow. Translation over 2,000 words, just do it. Like as if I'm saying, just do it. And of course, in one manner of speaking, I am saying that. Like there needs to be a movement on the level of your volition, of intention. You have to move intentionally into that reality that you want. And that can only be done if you feel safe enough to do it, step 2. And it can only be done if you feel like you can do it at all, step 1. And the thing is, God damn it, this message is so irritating to people who have not accomplished step 1. It's so irritating to people who feel like their personality is the immovable object. Because then it feels like I'm just teasing them from behind the bars. And then it becomes a subject of privilege, which, you know, does have a role to play. I've been thinking a lot about this too. I swear to God, I'm going to make a video about that too, about privilege, because it's a really important topic too. You know, there's privilege in having the wherewithal to even know this. There's the privilege that comes with being able to receive this message, right? But still, it's like, for those who cannot get past step 1 of acknowledging that you can change your personality structure, your identity structure, then it just feels like you're being taunted and teased, and that's no good. So step 4, we're almost there. We almost made it. I wonder if I can do this in under 30 minutes. Okay. Step 4 is to maintain. And this I also got from Yeshwani. This is very important. Maintain. Step into the identity structure and do a ceremony. Like any sort of ceremony would be nice. Light a candle, sage, smudge, sing a song, fucking do a dance, like, you know, kind of ceremony, right? Signal it like that it happened. Make it real. Make it, you know, signal it in some way. And then hold it. So I came out of my trip kind of going into you know, back into reality, digging back in and saying to myself, okay, as success, I'm doing this. As success, I enter this room. As success, I'm going to have this meal and drink this water. As success, I'm going to make this video, give it to you. As success, I'm delivering this video to you. I am adjusting and acclimatizing to and kind of, what is it, like attuning to the vibration, the presence, the energy of success. I'm identifying with it. I'm identifying as it. You know, as success, I do this. As success, I do that. So, I mean, it would be super cool, of course, if I could, you know, have done this and then 4 weeks pass and I can give you like an update about whether or not this created riches or whatever. I will say I received a latent payment for a piano lesson while I was in this process. So that was like a cool symbolic thing. But nevertheless, I would love to have more of like a result for you, you know, to do this. But at the same time, I just think that everything I said to you just stands as completely, utterly, logically true. I just think that like this on one hand could be interpreted as woo-woo, but I think also there's a very rational common senseness to all of this. So nevertheless, you can rest assured I'll be talking about this later and we'll see. We'll see what becomes as I adjust to my new identity structure of success. It feels great. It feels really good. So that is it. Ah, wonderful. 28 minutes. Sales plug. Check out my shit. If you want a one-on-one coaching session, you can get the first one for free. Check it out. I have a free PDF on self-actualization that you can get by opting in with your email. And I have a follow-up email series where I give you videos. These are short little videos, not like this big guy. These are like 8-minute average videos, and I just give them to you one per day. And they're really good. I actually looked at them again recently. I'm really happy with them. You should check them out. I love you. I love you so much. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching. I will catch you later.